5 things Christians should not say in times of crisis. When people face crises, it's natural to want to offer some words of comfort. After all, the right word, spoken at the right time, can be just what someone needs to hear to relieve their soul. While that may be the goal, that is not always the reality. Unfortunately, even though we say them with good intentions, sometimes the things we say have the opposite effect. They bring little comfort at all, and instead of healing, the words may hurt more than they help. There are some knee-jerk things Christians say in these situations that we probably need to stop saying. Even though you mean well, chances are they are not making anything better. 1. God won't give you more than you can handle. While this quote sounds biblical and even theological, it is actually neither. The thinking behind this quote comes from 1 Corinthians 10 verse 13. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to humanity, and God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. The problem becomes that when you look at the context, this verse and the common quote are saying two different things. The verse talks about sin and temptation, not trials or crises. It also ends by saying that God provides a way to endure the sin and temptation. We may reach a point where we cannot handle it and have to come to God for help. Aside from being theologically inaccurate, the quote does not provide comfort. When you are in a crisis, the last thing you think about is how you handle the maximum weight you can carry. That does not bring relief to anyone. 2. You just need to have more faith. More faith is rarely needed in a crisis. Jesus said if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. When you say you need more faith, you blame the crisis on the person in the crisis. All this does is add guilt and shame to an already challenging situation. 3. Heaven helps those who help themselves. It's bad enough for people to say this. It is far worse when they believe this is a verse in the Bible. 2 implications in this statement are not helpful to the person you say it to. You are implying if you do more, then God will do more. You are also implying you are not doing enough on your own to warrant God's assistance. This may not be the heart with which the person says these words, but this is how the listener may receive them. God never promised to help those who help themselves. He encourages us to call upon Him in our time of need, and He will help us. The key is not doing more yourself, but depending on Him to come through for you. And call on me in the day of trouble. I will deliver you, and you will honor me. Psalm 50 verse 15. 4. What sin did you commit to deserve this? Sometimes, this is uttered silently and not necessarily directly to the person during the crisis. The underlying thought is the only reason you are going through this is because there is some secret sin in your life. Let's apply this logic to some people in the Bible and see if it makes sense. What sin did Job commit that led to his crisis? What sin did Daniel commit that led him to be thrown into the lion's den? What sin did Jesus commit that led Him to be nailed to the cross? Crisis alone is insufficient evidence to prove that your situation results from your sin. Your crisis could be there for an entirely different purpose. In John 9, His disciples asked Jesus a question in a similar vein about a man born blind. As He went along, He saw a man blind from birth. His disciples asked Him, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" John 9 verses 1 to 2. Notice the implication that his situation resulted from some sin. They even said the man could have sinned before he was born. I wonder how that works. That's why you must appreciate Jesus' response to them. "Neither this man nor his parents sinned," said Jesus, "but this happened so that the works of God might be displayed in him." John 9 verse 3. Though it is possible that a situation can arise because of sinful decisions, that is not usually the case. Let's stop assuming sin is the reason for a crisis or trial. Maybe God has something different in mind. 5. You shouldn't feel that way. This statement does not allow for reality. By this, I mean we must allow people to feel how they feel. We are emotional beings, meaning when something happens, you will feel a certain way about it. How you feel is not the problem. What you do with those feelings could be. The Bible allows us to feel. It's just that we must control what we do with those feelings. In your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold. Ephesians 4 verses 26 to 27. Chances are, you will get angry at some point in life. Don't sin in your anger. Don't be angry for too long because you give the devil a foothold. We can say this about every other emotion too. In crisis, you may experience a range of emotions, and you can't always help how you feel. However, you can help what you do with those emotions, and that is where your focus should be. I want to leave you with one simple piece of advice. You don't always have to speak when someone is going through a crisis. They sometimes need a listening ear or someone to be present with them. Don't worry about what to say. Instead, focus on being there when they need you. Most of the time, that will be more than enough. I believe you are blessed by this knowledge. Please like, share, and hit the notification button so as to have continuous access to our prayer videos. God bless you.